Hello, judges. Thank you so much for watching the Last Chance Qualifier Judge Training recording. Our goal in this session is to make sure that you are prepared to judge at the Last Chance Qualifier. We have students who are going to be qualifying to the national tournament based on this online event, so it's super important that you are well prepared in order to give them a good competition experience. My name is Lauren Burt. I'm the Director of Competition for the NSDA, and Shantae and I are going to walk you through what to expect.
All right, I'm Shantae, the Tournament Services Manager for the NSDA. First and foremost, thank you for judging. We appreciate your time and the effort you will give to help ensure that students make it to nationals, and we couldn't do the event without you. Important tidbits that you need to know as we start the training. One is that the Last Chance Qualifier will be held on NSDA campus, and that just means you need a computer and Wi-Fi. We would expect for you to write constructive feedback. That's the only way students get better, understand how they won or lost a particular round, and coaches can get feedback as well so that they can help their students improve. And for speech, debate, and Congress, along with World Schools as well, there's a sample schedule as we go through the training, along with what sample ballots look like, as well as the judge trainings that you will need to complete on the accreditation website. So, first thing, when you go into NSDA campus, please go into a test room with another person from your school or the coach from the school that you're judging for, etc., to turn on your microphone, camera to make sure everything works for you. For NSDA campus, this is not like your squad room in tab room. It is the actual NSDA campus test rooms that you can access on the right side of your judge page. Please use Wi-Fi and the device that you're going to use on or throughout the Last Chance Qualifier to make sure that that particular device can connect to NSDA campus. Next, we recommend that you use Google Chrome as the browser for anything that's happening on NSDA campus. And if you're using Google Chrome but can still not connect, use an incognito window to strip your browser of any extensions or add-ons. And then if that is not working, you can download the Jitsi app to assist you in joining from a phone or a tablet using Google Chrome. We would just let you know that ideally NSDA campus should work on all browsers now, but Chrome is the recommended browser to ensure that it works. And if all the previous steps in troubleshooting have failed for you, please make sure you share this IT specific information with your school if you're judging or will be at your school during the Last Chance Qualifier to ensure that all the websites are whitelisted and that the ports that you see are opened.
We have a couple of reminders that apply to all judges, regardless of what event you are judging at the Last Chance Qualifier. The first one is that we will use Tabroom for all judging assignments. So when you log into your tabroom.com account, you can click on your email in the upper right corner to see whether you've been assigned a ballot. And if you see that you have an assignment, you will also see a big green button that says Acknowledge Assignment. We ask that all judges in all events hit that acknowledge assignment button as soon as they see it to let us know, as the people who are running the tournament, that you are aware that you've been assigned a round to judge and that you will be there on time. If you do not have a ballot on your Tabroom account, so if round one comes and you don't see anything when you log into Tabroom, that means that you may not be assigned to judge round one, but you are on standby. We do need all of our judges to be on standby for all rounds. That's how we make sure that we have enough judges that are around in case there's tech issues or if somebody has an emergency. But if you're not assigned a round and then we need to substitute you in last minute, we will send you a text message or give you a phone call. So the best thing that you can do if you see that you do not have an assignment for a round is to keep your phone near you and the volume up, because we will get a hold of you through your cell phone number that's listed in Tabroom if we need you as a last minute substitute in a round. On the schedule that we talk about in a moment, you'll see that there's a time for each round listed as in room. And that in-room time is when we ask all competitors and judges to be in the NSDA campus room to test their technology. We have, of course, a couple thousand students and judges joining us for the last chance qualifier, so I'm sure there will be some tech issues. And the best that we can do is make sure that we build time into the schedule to ensure you're able to resolve those technical issues before the round starts. And the way that we've done that is by having an in-room time. So we ask that you as judges are in your NSDA campus room at that in-room time. You turn on your camera, you turn on your microphone, and you ask the students to confirm that they can see and hear you. And if they can't, then you've got a little bit of time to resolve those issues as well. This is also a great time to ask the competitors to turn on their cameras and their microphones. They do have some limited time to resolve technical issues, but unfortunately, if they're not able to get it at work, they won't be able to participate. So this in-room time is really important that you are facilitating a tech check of everybody who will be competing in that round. It is tournament policy that judges have their cameras on throughout the duration of the round. So when there's a competitor speaking, your camera should be on. And this is a non-negotiable policy for us. It's important to signal to the students that you are listening so they can see your nonverbal communication skills at play. And because if there's a technical issue where you as a judge lose connection in the middle of the round, it can be difficult for students to tell that you are no longer listening when your camera is not on. So we will gently remind you the first time if your camera is not on during a speech or a debate round, but the second time that will prevent you from being able to continue judging, which will have an impact on your school's competitors. So please make sure when you're testing your technology in advance, like Shantae described, that you are making sure you have a camera that will work for the duration of the tournament. We also ask that once the round is completed, you stay in the NSDA campus room. You can turn your camera off at that point until your ballot is submitted. If we need to get a hold of you for whatever reason, we will go first to your NSDA campus room, and we expect to find you there unless your ballot has already been turned in. We also have a requirement that judges write feedback on ballots before they can be submitted. There is a 25 minimum word count for speech and debate ballots that will prevent you from submitting your decision until that feedback has been typed. Like Shantae said, it is super important for students and their coaches to receive that written feedback, even if you are sharing verbal feedback with them after the round, so that they know what to improve on and their coaches can see that feedback as well. So you will not be able to submit your feedback until that written, or you will not be able to submit your ballot until that written feedback has been added. If you want to talk to the students after the round, that is optional, but of course encouraged. You should keep it brief so that the students are able to take a quick break before their next rounds. But as long as you have submitted your ballot in tab room first, you are welcome but not required to give oral feedback to the competitors after the round. Lastly, the schedule that's posted that we'll go over in a minute is our best guess and our fingers crossed hope for how the schedule of the tournament will actually go. But you all know that we cannot work on preparing the next round's assignments until we have all of the ballots from the round prior in. So there will be times where we may fall behind the schedule or be able to move up the schedule to keep everything moving throughout the day. So please keep an eye on your email. That's where we will send you any updates about the schedule, and we will do our best to communicate any changes so you know what to expect throughout the event. If you need help or have any questions at all throughout the event for a judge in any event, you are welcome to email our helpline. It's info@speechanddebate.org. We have that staffed throughout the entirety of the tournament, so somebody will receive your email immediately and pass it on to the appropriate parties. When we talk about writing feedback on ballots, we wanted to do just a quick reminder of the type of constructive feedback that we expect from our judges at the last chance qualifier. I know that some of you are probably new to writing feedback, and that's okay. We want you to focus on giving the students a good experience, but also an experience that they can learn from moving forward. So our staff does check every ballot after every single round, and we will send you a quick text message if we think that you need to write a little bit more or adjust some of your feedback. But something to remember going into your rounds when you are writing feedback. First, you want your feedback to be specific. So if you were to write in your feedback, your arguments were strong, that's not very specific. It's not, the students may not know which arguments you were talking about. So to make that better and more specific, you could instead say, the argument about the environmental impacts of space exploration was strong, pointing out specifically which argument. Or you might say, I loved the kindergarten student that you acted out in your DI. But we can make that more specific by saying, the way that you portrayed the kindergarten student with a stuffy nose was very realistic. The second thing to think about when you're writing constructive feedback is that you want that feedback to be actionable. Students are qualifying to the national tournament from the Last Chance Qualifier, so they will want to make sure that their speech or their debate skills are improved before they come to the national tournament. Or if they don't qualify, we know that they may have other tournaments this year, or just it's important to take away the ability to improve, period, even if it's their last tournament ever. So when we think about actionable feedback, in addition to making it specific, you want to tell them what they can do specifically to improve. So not actionable feedback would be something like, improve your argument about how nuclear weapons risk accidents. And you could make that more actionable by saying, consider using historical examples like the Fukushima disaster to strengthen your argument about nuclear accidents. Or instead of saying, you stumbled over your words often, try to be more actionable in your feedback by saying, continue to work on memorization during the conclusion of your speech to make the delivery smoother. And lastly, we want your feedback to be kind. Public speaking, period, is difficult, and so we should be celebrating the students who are getting up to do it for us, even if they may not have had the best performance in your round. So instead of saying something like, your arguments were embarrassing, you could try, you're a great speaker, keep working on developing your arguments and you'll be even better. Or instead of saying, you were the worst speaker in the round, so I ranked you last, try saying, I can't wait to watch you continue to improve. Your role as a judge is to make sure that students are having a good experience and they want to keep doing speech and debate. So thank you for helping us do that. This section of the judge training is for our speech judges. If you're not judging in speech, you can skip ahead to the debate or the Congress section. Speech judges, you will see that we have posted a tentative schedule. That schedule has columns for different time zones, so you want to make sure that you are looking in the color of the time zone that applies to you. I'm in Central Time, so I'm going to be looking at the blue column. On Wednesday, April 23rd, we are going to have an optional judge Q&A meeting at 7 p.m. Central Time. Optional means nobody is required to be there. This is just the chance for any of you who have extra questions after watching this training, or a specific question, or just want to pop in and say hi to make sure you're ready to go before judging, to join us and get any of those last minute questions out of the way so you are super prepared. But if you feel good going into the tournament, there is no need to join us for that optional meeting. On Friday, April 25th, we will have pairings released for rounds 1 through 4. Those are the preliminary rounds at 5 p.m. Central Time on Friday. Extemp will be released a little bit earlier since Extemp Draw starts at 5 p.m. Central Time. For round 1, you could see Extemp Draw starts at 5 p.m. Central Time. The in-room time, which is the time that all competitors and judges need to be in the NSDA campus rooms, turning on their cameras and microphones to test that their technology is working, is 5:15. The start time, which is the time that the first speaker should begin speaking, is at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. And decision time is the time that your ballots are due to be submitted through Tabroom. And remember that in order to submit your ballots through Tabroom, you need to have at least 25 words written for each competitor in your round, and then you'll submit your ballot and confirm it. That time is about an hour and 10 minutes after the round starts. On Saturday, we will do the other 2 preliminary rounds and our elimination rounds. Depending on the number of students that register for the event, we may need a 3rd elimination round. So we ask that all judges stick around until about 7:40 Central Time. And that is the latest that we will go for speech. At that time, we will be announcing qualifiers through an awards live stream. So we'll send out a YouTube link where you can see the students that qualified in each event. If you are judging speech on Tabroom, like I said, you will log into tabroom.com. If you're ever lost in Tabroom, you can always click on your email address in the upper right corner. And once you do that, you will see a judging header on the right side of your screen. Not only will you see the NSDA campus test room, which is where you'll test your technology in advance, but you'll also see this handy yellow button that says current ballots and panels. That will take you to your assignments. This is what it looks like if you've received a judging assignment for a speech round. Under the current ballots tab, it'll show up that you are judging DI, for example, round two, it will have a blue and white video icon. That is what you click to get into the NSDA campus room. It's similar to any video conferencing room where you'll have the ability to turn on your camera, unmute, and the competitors will join you at the in-room time. Start is the time that the first speaker must begin speaking, and Tabroom is smart and it will adjust to your time zone that's in your Tabroom profile so that you're never confused about what time the round starts. And it'll list the entries or the competitors that are in your room. Remember, as soon as you see this in Tabroom, we ask that you click that green Acknowledge Assignment button so that we know that you are aware you're judging. And then at in-room time, you should click this blue and white video icon to get into your NSDA campus room for the tech check. Once you click that Acknowledge Assignment button, it will open up your ballot. If you do that, again, you can find the blue and white video icon to enter your NSDA campus room in the upper right corner. You'll find some information at the top and where you submit your ranks down at the bottom. The information at the top reminds you that if you need help, you can contact us at info@speechanddebate.org. It reminds you some information about the particular event that you're judging that you might want to read in advance. And then down at the bottom, it will list the speakers in order. So you will know that your first speaker is the one that's listed at the top, and then you'll invite your second speaker to go, and so on. There's no double entry at the last chance qualifier, so everybody should be there to speak in order. After all of the students have spoken, you will rank them. The rank of 1 is the best in the room, and the rank of 6 is the 6th place in the room. There are no points at the NSDA Last Chance Qualifier. It is just ranks. And if you have a student who has not showed up by the time the last speaker in the room has given their speech, you can mark them as a no-show. Once you've submitted your ranks, you can click Submit Ballot, and Tabroom will ask you to confirm. Go ahead and click that Confirm button, and you're done. But you'll remember that in order to submit your ballot, you do need to write feedback for each competitor in the round. You will see a drop down here where you can have the option to write comments to everyone. I see some judges put great round, you're all excellent, or nice things like that in the everyone box, which I like. But this drop down will also allow you to write comments for each individual competitor in the round. That is what is required before you can submit your ballot. So here, after the first speaker goes, highly recommend typing throughout the round as you go. So once the first speaker is speaking, you can make notes that go just to them. Remember, you need 25 words per competitor in each individual competitor's comment box before you can submit your ranks and submit your ballot. There are 2 other requirements for you as a judge before you can judge at the Last Chance Qualifier. You're doing the first one right now, which is watching this video. The second is that you have to watch 2 of our required judge training modules on NSDA Learn. The URL is right down here at the bottom, speechanddebate.org/judge-accreditation. The first one that you're required to watch is Level 1 Intro to Judging Speech, and the second is Level 1 Intro to Multicultural Competence. Once you have watched those and taken the quiz and gotten 100%, you'll have to certify in Tabroom that you've completed those, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But on this page, we also wanted to call out that we have some optional additional judge training modules for the other events that you may judge at the Last Chance Qualifier available. If you are a speech judge at the Last Chance Qualifier, you may judge any one of our speech events. There are 8 of them, and you can get trained on all 8 of those with our Level 2 Speech Judge Accreditation program that is found at the same link as below. Once you've taken the Multicultural Competence course and the Level 1 Speech Judge Training course, you will go to tabroom.com, make sure you're logged in, and under that same judging header, you'll select the Judge Certifications button. You'll find the relevant name of the course. Select the blue and white edit button next to take. Certify, yes, I have taken it, and save. It does take our staff about a week to approve and double check that you've actually taken the courses, but that's all you need to do.
All right, debate. So we have provided a sample schedule for debate events. This is essentially what you would see for policy, for big questions, etc. So for Lincoln Douglas, again, there are 4 particular time zones color-coded, and so I recommend that you look at the time zone in which you live so that you can be on time. I'm on the East Coast, so I will reference the Eastern time zone as what the schedule that I would follow, but the event runs in Central Time, so we'll use the blue column. So on Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025, we will do an optional judge Q&A. You are not required at all to attend if you have tested your technology and you have no questions for us. However, if you are struggling with testing your technology using the Wi-Fi and the device that you will use during the actual last chance qualifier, or if for some reason you haven't been able to test your technology, please show up on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. That's the start of the judge training. Feel free to ask us any questions or just to stop in and say hello if you wanted to make sure everything is working. We will do that, will last probably about an hour or a little bit longer if there are a number of people that show up. And then on Thursday, debate actually begins. And so there are two preset rounds. The first, pairings will be released at 5 p.m. Central Time. And then the in-room time is the time that you need to be in the room along with, excuse me, the competitors so that you can all test your technology, turn on your camera, make sure you can see the competitors, they can see you, and that you can hear them and they can hear you. The start time is when we expect you to actually start judging the round to begin, which is 5:30 Central Time. And then the decision time is when the round is to end, when you are to submit your ballot, which is an hour for Lincoln Douglas and public forum and a little longer for policy. And then the same will happen. There are two rounds on Thursday evening, and then we will pick up on Friday afternoon for rounds 3 and 4, which will follow the same format. 5 o'clock is the pairing. 5:15 is the be in your room time. And then again, submit your ballots, etc. And then on Saturday, April 26th, we will do the last two prelims. If necessary, there may be an event that calls for one less prelim, but that kind of depends on entry numbers. We'll start early on Saturday because we have a lot of prelims and the elims to get through. So pairings will blast at 9 a.m. Central Time, etc. And then after the two prelims that were left, the coin flips will determine sides in all elimination rounds. And ideally, coin flips will occur for all debate events through NSDA campus. But 5 minutes after, during elimination debates, the coin flip will be active for you all to choose your side, for competitors to choose their side if they're not locked. We would do 3 elims in debate, depending on the numbers. And then ideally, the last one will end around 6, no later than 6 o'clock, 6:30. And then we will do a live stream of the students that qualified to nationals on YouTube, and that link will be emailed out. World Schools has a similar schedule, but a few less rounds. So Wednesday, again, optional judge training. That will be for everyone, 7 p.m. You're welcome to show up, or if you have everything set, no need to. Rounds will start on Thursday afternoon, again, a little bit earlier than ideally the other debate divisions because World School takes a little bit longer given whether we are doing prepared or impromptu topics. So the pairings will blast at 4:30 for World Schools, and you would need to be in the room at 4:45. And then the round will start at 5 p.m. Central Time with the ballot being due at 6:05 Central Time. Round 2 will pick up right after that. We'll do soon, probably 10 minutes after the end of round 1 and our ballots are submitted. We'll do a roll call with the judges and the students because we're doing an impromptu motion. That motion will be announced at 6:30. You'll get an hour the students will get an hour to prep. And then at 7:30 is when the round should begin for the impromptu round. And the ballots are due at 8:35. Friday will continue the same thing, but starting late at the same time on Friday afternoon with pairings at 4:30, round beginning at 5, and ballots being due at 6 o'clock. And the same for round 4, which is identical essentially to round 2 from the previous night. Saturday, we'll do our last pre-elimination round in World Schools debate. And like the other events, all sides will be determined via coin flips from NSDA campus. And there will be a separate Zoom room for all World Schools prep when we have impromptu motions. Elam 1 will begin around 10:45. In terms of pairings, will blast around 10:45. The round will start at 11:15, and you'll get a few more minutes to decide the winners in these rounds. So the round will end at 12:35. And then we will go into the final elimination round, which is an impromptu round. So there'll be a roll call again, plus the motion announced, hour to prepare, and then start time will be at 2:15, with the last round ending around 3:30. Again, World Schools qualifiers will be announced on the live stream as well, which will be at 6 p.m. Central Time, but we will email out more information to coaches on that day. All right. In terms of finding your ballot on Tabroom, you will use tabroom.com, click on your email address, and when you go to that particular page, you'll notice a judging column on the right side of the page. And you will notice a yellow box that says current ballots and panels. That is how you access or at least get to your current assignment. So you would click on the yellow box and then you will see what you see to the right here, which is your current assignments in terms of the event that you're judging, what round it is, the blue camera icon, which will take you into the actual room where you were judged and see the competitors, the start time, time in which you should begin judging, and the round should start. And then it'll tell you the entries that are in the room. When you go in and see your ballot assignment for the first time, please click Acknowledge Assignment so that we know that you know that you're judging. That way, no one's confused. We know that you've seen the ballot at least and that you're going to be in your room 15 minutes before the actual start time. In terms of the ballot, for all debate events, you will see the general ballot when you click Acknowledge Assignment. It'll take you to this screen. You will see optional timers on the right if you choose to use those. You'll see the topic at the top of the page, along with some info that you need specifically about questions if you have them during the round. If there's an issue, you can email info@speechanddebate.org. Plus, it'll give you some instructions on judging the event and what you should look for. At the bottom of the page, you will see the teams or the competitors listed, the AF and the NEG. Just if you are concerned, just make sure you verify who's on what side, that it matches what's in tab room. And afterwards, when the debate is over, there are spaces for you to determine, to give feedback, not only to all of the competitors, but to each competitor individually, which is what the tabs are at the bottom. Once you've submitted feedback, which should be at least 25 words for each competitor, you can save that feedback. As you can see the little save icon next to save feedback, go back, add your winner, loser, points, and hit save ballot, and then confirm the ballot to make sure that you have entered the correct winner for the round. And as I mentioned above, this is just a closer shot on the information that's written at the top in terms of what you should share. This is the bottom of the ballot. You choosing the winner, make sure that winner aligns with the team that you have, AF-NEG, and then where you would enter feedback for all of the competitors if you wanted to enter the reason for decision, which we would hope you would do, plus the feedback for each team or competitor. In terms of World Schools, as you can see, the ballot is a little bit different. It has the space for each of the three speakers, plus it has a rubric for style, content, strategy, etc. You can enter the points. Tab Room will do the calculations. You would do that for each team and each speaker as the round is progressing. And when the round is over, you want to make sure that the total is higher for the team that you intend to win, and that you choose that winner and mark the side that that winner was on. And in terms of learning more about judging, there are a couple judge training things that you have to certify in Tab Room in addition to this that you're watching, which is the judge training for the LCQ. You also have to complete level 1, Intro to Judging Debate, regardless of the type of debate that you're going to judge or whatever event category you've been entered in. And then the other judge training that you need to complete is level 1, Multicultural Competency. Once you've completed all three of these, watching this plus those two, you will go into Tab Room, back into your account, click on the judging category again, select Judge Certifications, and then acknowledge at the bottom that you see the ones that you've taken. go over to the blue written icon on the end, far right of each of those trainings, click yes that you've taken it, certify yes that you've taken it, and then save. It'll be about a week before our staff approves those, but once they're approved, you'll be able to see them on your end.
Congress judges. You'll see a schedule that is tentative for now, but likely how we expect the weekend to go. There's a Congress tab at the bottom and 4 different time zones listed across the top that are color coded. So you'll want to make sure that you are looking at the schedule in your time zone. I'm in Central Time, so I'm going to look at the blue column here. On Wednesday, April 23rd, we have an optional judge Q&A meeting. This is just for judges who have outstanding questions and would like to speak to our staff before they judge. If you don't have any questions, there's no need to join us. On Friday, April 25th, this is when rounds will begin. The first round of Congress will start on Friday with chamber assignments being released at 5 p.m. Central Time. Judges and students will need to be in their NSDA campus room to test their technology at 5:15 Central Time, and things will start at 5:30 Central Time. The session will end at 8:30, and you'll be done for the day on Friday. On Saturday, there's a second preliminary round and an elimination round. After that elimination round, we will determine qualifiers based on their placement in that elim, and those qualifiers will be announced via the live stream on YouTube around 6 p.m. Central Time, and that link will be emailed out to coaches. Judging Congress on Tab Room. We will use online ballots, so judges who are in the Congress judging pool will go to tabroom.com. If they ever get lost, they can click on their email in the upper right corner to get where you need to be. And down on the right side of the page, you'll see a judging header that has this handy yellow button that says current ballots and panels. That button is what you'll click to get to your round assignments for judging. So if you log into Tab Room at the time when pairings come out, you may see that you have a ballot, and it'll look like this if you do. It will tell you which round you're judging. It will have a blue and white video icon that will take you to the video conferencing room where the round will take place. It will list the start time. You'll have to be in the room a little bit before that for the in-room tech check time, but the start is when the round will actually begin. And we ask that if you see this assignment on your Tab Room account, you right away go ahead and click Acknowledge Assignment. That lets us know that you're aware that you are judging and will be there. When you click that Acknowledge Assignment button, it will open up your ballot, and this is what your ballot looks like. A Congress ballot has 2 tabs at the top. There's one tab for speeches and one tab for rankings. The speeches tab is going to be most useful while the round is going on. You'll be able to select a speaker that's in your round. And once you've done that, you can add a speech. So for each speech, you will want to add whether they were speaking for or against the bill. You'll want to write general feedback on their speech and give that speech a point value from 1 to 6, 6 being the highest, and save. It's really important that you give a speech for every single student who is speaking in the round, because that's how we make sure that all of our judges were watching the whole round, is that all of you have equal number of speeches for each competitor. So it won't let you submit your ballot if you're missing a speech for a student. So you want to make sure that you're doing this throughout the round as it goes, so you're not missing anyone. You'll also want to select the speaker from the drop-down that is serving as the presiding officer, or the PO, to make sure you toggle this button here. After the round is over and all of the speeches have been completed on that speeches tab, you'll click the rankings tab here. The rankings tab will ask you to rank the students in the round, 1 through 8, and all of the other competitors tied at 9, unless you're the parley and you have some separate instructions that you should be aware of. Once you've done that, you will submit your ballot and confirm it. We do have, as you'll remember, 3 different requirements for Congress judges before they are eligible to judge at the Last-Chance Qualifier. The first one is that they are watching this recording, so good job, you've made it for number 1. The second is that you complete the Level 1 Intro to Judging Congress Judge Accreditation course, which can be found here at this link. And the second is that, or the last one is that you complete the Level 1 Intro to Multicultural Competence Judge Accreditation module that can be found at the same link. We did want to just point out here that there is an optional level 2 judging congressional debate module that goes more into depth about what you can expect when judging Congress, but it is not required, just encouraged. Once you have completed those 3 courses, so the multicultural competence, level 1 Congress, and watched this video, you will log into Tabroom. Under that judging header again, you will click the Judge Certifications button, and that will pull up a list of optional accreditation modules. Next to each of the ones that you've taken, you will find their name, click the blue and white edit button under Take, and certify that yes, you have completed it. And save. And that's all that you need to do. Our staff does go through and manually confirm that you've actually taken the courses and gotten 100% on the quizzes. And once we do so, you will see that your accreditation has been approved. And that's all we've got. Thank you so much for judging at the Last Chance Qualifier, and we are happy to answer any questions in advance at info@speechanddebate.org.